What's up, people? It's your boy, the Kryptonian, saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 445, and another wacky chapter, another chapter where some of you guys are gonna go, I can't believe out of all this shit that happened in this chapter, this is what this motherfucker is impressed with. Get the fuck out of here saying, okay? So, what am I referring to, right? Well, I like the whole scene with the zombies where they're getting out, and I laugh my ass off when you got the moment where Usopp takes the flaming star, he shoots it, and the fire appears to work, and they're running, and then the zombies are chasing after them, and the zombies are actually quick. They're not walking all stiff like you normally see. And then all of a sudden, you got Usopp saying, damn, they're fast. And then they go, time out, time out, time out. And they got no endurance. I love that. It's one of those typical wacky moments in One Piece. This was a moment where I just would have loved to see Nami just like freak the fuck out. That would have been such a classic shonen trope where she's shouting at the zombies for not having any endurance. I was waiting on that. I thought that would have taken the humor up to another level. But, you know, I mean, I get it. You know, Oda doesn't want to do too much with Nami with the whole shouting thing this many chapters. I mean, I get it. You want to preserve that, you know, and Oda has such great timing for humor. That'll probably get saved for something else, probably for one more of those slice of life moments. But getting into what I was impressed with, I like how the zombies are actually pretty strong, and you got this one moment where one of them actually loses his fucking head. And Chopper watches this dude have his head get picked up by another zombie, and he underhand throws it to him, and he catches it, and it looks like he's gonna put it back on his head, and he's like, thanks, bro. Like, Chopper's eyes are bugging out. This was so cool. And I like the line where Usopp's like, I'm gonna get turned into a zombie. I got eaten. And Nami's just like, you've read too many horror novels, which confirms to me that Oda is doing this. He's following the horror tropes, so he's making fun of them. He's adding in the One Piece gag elements. I thought that was pretty cool. But at the same time, I see what some of you guys were talking about when you were, you know, telling me like, hey, you know, we're getting some of those light moments, those light fan servicey type moments, but at the same time, it's gonna get in your face, but there's gonna be some few things. Like there's this one shot where you get this undershot of Nami and you see like the black part, and like that's like the underwear. It's not the fairy tale level where it's right up there in the cracks and shit, and you know it's just done for the point of, you know, saying hero didn't give a fuck. It's not one of those moments, but I like this shot here. It's some very beautiful artwork. And one of the things aesthetically that this does, like Oda really impressed me with just the attention to detail on the art. And this is what I meant when I said that I was impressed, okay? The attention to detail on the art. You know, I want to point something out. You know, I don't know how much you guys pay attention to this, but one thing that, you know, I see with certain mangaka is that like they might do 4 panels, right? But then you got guys like Oda, and like Kubo's a good example. Kubo will have some chapters where he has like 5 panels on a page, and then you have some chapters where he just uses the white background and has like 2 or 3 panels on there. And that's more of something that I've seen like with some of the newer comic books, whereas Oda and Kishimoto will have 6 to 8 fucking panels on here. And this is what was beautiful to me. Like I said, the artwork is on point, but the attention to detail, like right here, let me see if I can capture this. Okay. Do I have it? Not quite. Let me... Okay, here we go. Right here. Look at this attention to detail. This is so beautiful. You see Nami, she's saying, I'll save you to Usopp. You see her drawing her staff. You see like the little lines that's got the motion. But you see just the little scratches that are all over her body. You see the dirt. You see that look of concentration. The next panel over, you have great action. A little bit of, you know, fan servicey type thing where breast are front and center or whatnot, but you see her being plunked down in the middle of the cemetery where there's dirt. You see the actual sweat. You see a leg shaking. You see them grabbing on. Just the total action, the look of concentration. You see the beads around her neck that are plopping off, bouncing off her chest. You see the bracelet moving. You see the arms coming out of the ground. Very, very good attention to detail. Then right here, you got Usopp, same thing. Usopp's being bitten into. Usopp's freaking out. You see the motion. You see some of them are getting their heads knocked around. Chopper. You got the actual muscles in the back being shown. But this is what's also big. I'm just going to zoom out and show you the whole, trying to show you the whole panel now. That's 2, 4, that's 5 panels. That is huge because that's literally Oda. What he's doing at this point is Oda is devoting single panels to fluid motion. And when the characters are in the battle sequences and everything, like where you got the scene where Nami's trying to fight off and you actually see like the strings coming off and the shaking. He's showing it frame by frame how it's going. And as a reader, like I appreciate it, but as someone who's read comics and manga for most of my life, like all the way up until right now in my mid-20s, like I appreciate shit like this because of the attention to detail. It's so hard to fully understand that Oda did this shit on a deadline. And in some cases, some of these chapters are probably being pumped out 3, 4 at a time in order to make the issue for Shonen Jump. And he's only got 2 weeks because he's got to turn in a storyboard. He's got to do a rough drawing. He's got to hand out assignments. And then he's got to take over. And with a guy like Oda, from everything I've read in the SP Corner, Oda does a lot of the drawing himself. He does what Togashi does. He has assistants, but Oda picks up most of the legwork himself. And so to have this much attention to detail, this was one of the best frames in this. And in the next page over, you actually see Usopp with the tears coming out. This chapter, like I pay attention. That's why I criticize Oda's artwork at times, especially when it comes to women. But this chapter, this is some of his most beautifully drawn stuff when it comes to the shading, when it comes to like the facial expressions, the features of the characters, and even the way he draws Nami. Okay? And it's not one of those, oh my fucking god, Kryptonia is going 5 minutes on about Nami. It's not that. It's not that. It's, I say in a lot of my older reviews, like, Oda, the women, they're all the same. They might have like one might have a longer chin or the eyes might be shaped a different way, but they all look different. I'm actually seeing it here. I'm actually seeing a change. It isn't just because of the way that the hair is put up, but there are little small things aesthetically that have changed here. It's like all of a sudden, as impossible as it is, because Oda, for the most part, was a good artist. There's a few, like with the art style, it looks like there's a few American influences on it. But for the most part, Oda was a really good artist. But towards the end of Enies Lobby, and now, I've been seeing more effort, more attention to detail, and as impossible as it is, it looks like the artwork is getting better. Like, to put this in perspective for you, like when you get a guy like Oda, usually when they get this far in, what are we, 46 volumes in, most series don't even last this long. And usually you can tell when the artist hits their stride when it comes to doing aesthetics. And the fact that Oda just shattered a fucking plateau, I'm not wearing a hat. I would literally tip my hat to him because this was beautiful. Like, I will put this up with anything I've read from Kishimoto and say that this is probably shitting on what Kishimoto did as far as artwork, okay? Attention to detail in this chapter. Like, this was really beautiful. Now, the actual in-universe story itself with this chapter, very impressed with the fact that Chopper actually knows who this Dr. Hoback is. And I like how when Nami looks out, she sees the lion, but he's stitched up. And it fits into what Chopper's saying. Chopper's like, oh, well, he had many miraculous, life-saving surgeries that he did on people. It's just like, at what fucking cost, dude? These animals look like some shit that a 5-year-old would have drawn. I know it's like, how can you say that and you just praise Oda's artwork? I mean that in a good way. I mean, it's so wacky and it's so stitched up, just putting different animal parts together is something a 5-year-old would do. And the fact that Oda is such an animal lover and whatnot, the fact that he's mixing and matching different animals, you know, Oda, probably the reason why attention to detail is so great in this chapter is we got the fucking zombie petting zoo in this bitch. And you see Oda, like, I like horses, I like fishes, I like lions. Let's just combine all this shit in together. And I get all my favorite animals into one, and I get to have fun drawing it. And so I love seeing this element here because it's tying into what Chopper's saying. And that's when Usopp's just like, you can either die or you can go meet this dude. And it's almost like Usopp saying, look, man, you can chase after this dude. You can be a groupie. This shit ain't gonna end well for us. And even Nami says, like, look, we can take care of ourselves. This is where we gotta, you know, trust our this doesn't feel right power. And it's just like you got the two biggest cowards on the ship. And you got Chopper completely blown all of this. Like, I don't think Chopper's fully grasped the danger of the situation he's in. He's just like, oh shit, Nami's fighting. Usopp's freaking out. Let me knock some fucking heads around. I think Chopper is just going along for the ride. So I love like the wackiness of this chapter, man. This was so fucking awesome. And the fact they got left in the middle of the cemetery. And you got the guy that left them there sprouting the vampire wings. He's flying off and he's just laughing. And now they get up to the castle and they're like, oh, we're just traveling pirates. I mean, we're traveling travelers. Can you let us in? So now they're going to get in this mansion. We're going to have so much wacky shit. I am totally loving this. Again, this completely blows my expectations of what I expected for an arc like this, man. I was really coming in with my expectations really lowered because of what I saw in the Bleach filler episode. So to see this, hope it's been restored, baby. So my chapter question to you guys is, what did you think about that rather long-winded explanation about Oda's artwork? Do you think I'm onto something here, that Oda's artwork is starting to, it was good before, but it's gone from good to holy shit, this is good? Do you agree with me on that, or do you think that, you know, I just been too hard on Oda? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video.